Be thankful and content this Christmas. Kimbe facing serious power outages. And a stern warning for public servants with political aspirations.
This is National EMTV News with Helen Sayer.
Good evening and thank you for joining me for Friday's news. Despite the country's economic challenges, the public service machinery endured and did achieve results. Personal Management Secretary John Kali says that 2016 was a tough year because of the cash flow issues that hit the country. He thanked all central agencies and departments for delivering outcomes. Fabian Hakalitz has more.
The Personal Management Department Secretary exclusively told MTV News that this year was a very tough year for all public civil servants. But through the collective efforts of public servants, results were achieved over time.
Over the last 12 months, particularly the last 6 months of this year, were most difficult, because that's when the cash flow really tightened up. I want to give credit to the resilience of all the public servants throughout the country, that during these times of difficulty, we've been able to manage within our resources, and we have not received any complaints from anyone, and so I want to thank all of you for a wonderful 2016, during which time we've achieved a great deal.
2017 is another year, and public servants are expected to deliver more, reflecting on this year's challenges and make adjustments.
Go for the better. And this is why I said, we'll come up with a fresh, breath of fresh air in 2017, because the experience that we've had here will give us that opportunity to move on from there. So all departmental heads will be encouraged when we have the Leaders Summit in February to take it from there, to look back on the experience and look forward to 2017. Because I think we have better times ahead of us in the next 24 months.
Meanwhile, at 12 midday today was the close of business for the government of the independent state of Papua New Guinea. All public servants are expected to resume work on January 3, 2017.
I expect all public servants to resume work on the 3rd of January because New Year Day falls on a Sunday, so that means that the following day will become a public holiday as well. So I expect all public servants to resume work on 3rd of January. But in the meantime, let me take this opportunity to wish all public servants throughout the country, all departmental heads, provincial administrators, all the very best for this festive season, and to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and look forward to a wonderful 2017.
Fabian Hakalitz, National EMTV News.
All public servants intending to contest the 2017 national general election but have failed to submit their resignation will face the full force of the law. Personal Management Department Secretary John Kali says consequences are high for those who have failed to comply with directions.
A direction was issued to public servants wishing to contest next year's election to resign by October 20 this year. Secretary Kali has warned public servants of this unlawful act.
And you haven't resigned to contest elections, then don't go for elections, because it will be illegal. If you were to contest elections, you should have done so on the 20th of October, because you are already breaking the law if you are still in office with the intention to contest the 2017 elections.
Mr. Kali says that the law will still catch up with those who try to resign on the last minute. This is because the law prohibits any public servant continuing to hold office after October 20.
Because if you do win the election after you resigned after the 20th of October, the law will catch up with you because you've entered Parliament or won the elections unfairly.
Secretary Kali has reminded public servants to put their acts together and try to read the laws that governs the public service machinery of Papua New Guinea. Fabian Hakelitz, National MTV News.
Meanwhile, on Nurses Awards, Personal Management Department Secretary John Kali says that award provisions from previous industrial agreements have all been resolved. These awards were paid in pay periods of 25 and 26 to ensure that nurses continue their good work.
Much to the effort of staff in the Department of Personnel Management and also those in the Health Department working together to make sure the nurses' outstanding terms and conditions were all fully implemented.
In his Christmas message, Governor-General Grand Chief Sir Michael Ogyeo has encouraged everyone to be thankful and content this Christmas. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Peter O'Neill said Christmas is an important time to put aside our differences and share in the goodwill of our communities. He said this as part of his Christmas message to the nation.
In his Christmas message, Prime Minister O'Neill acknowledged the work of churches across the country. He said ours is a Christian country and the Christian churches remain strong and continue to play a vital role in the lives of people. For many, the churches have provided education, delivered health care, and facilitated wide-ranging community support services. The Prime Minister said when the current government was formed, it knew that churches were delivering this work on their own and that a real partnership between church and government was needed to really help the people. From this, an important partnership was built with churches in the delivery of basic services, and the government is proud of providing direct funding support to churches for education, healthcare, and other areas. In the meantime, from Government House, Governor-General Grand Chief Sir Michael Ogyeo said as a nation, PNG did encounter some turbulent time during the year, but has managed to pick itself up and move on. He encouraged individuals to assess themselves and be willing to make necessary changes for the better. He said a simple act of kindness could be a blessing to those in need, and just as equally, being honest in simple things can reap greater rewards and reinforce good habits and attitudes. Sir Michael reminded all that whatever the situation or circumstance, may each person find contentment with what they have and be thankful to God. Deli Waigeno, National MTV News.
When we come back, liquor ban imposed for NCD and Central Provinces, Christmas police operations in Madang, and Telecom's 4G extends to Yonki. Those stories after the break. Welcome back. The Central Provincial Government has issued a liquor ban commencing today. The ban will be executed by traffic officers from the Traffic Provincial Transport Authority alongside police officers. The ban will end on the second day of January 2017.
Following the directive from the Central Provincial Government, traffic officers have started road checks along the two highways in Central. For Magi Highway, the road check is at Tahira, while the road check at Hiritano Highway is at Laloki.
So we've been advised by our managers to come and we do our own normal roadblock, but the police are going to come and assist us to remove all the beers. Central Province is going to be liquor free. It came out this morning and we are exercising it.
The circular on the liquor ban was issued on the 16th of December. However, the officers on the ground only learnt of it today. This means they will be conducting awareness on the ban whilst executing the directive. There are 3 teams that will be conducting road checks during this festive season. One is stationed at Magi Highway, the other at Iritano Highway, and the final one at the Porabada Junction. This morning, when MTV News visited the roadblocks, a number of PMV drivers who were categorized as unauthorized routes were warned and told not to use the highway.
All motorists or all general public in Central Province is liquor free, liquor ban. There is no liquor in Central Province. You have to enjoy your Christmas and New Year with liquor, no liquor.
Central Provincial Police Commander Laimo Asi has encouraged central villagers to not consume alcohol while traveling to their villages. Instead, Commander Asi advised them to bring the alcohol home and consume it in their villages. Meanwhile, there will be a liquor ban in the nation's capital on the 26th and 27th of December 2016 and on the 2nd of January 2017. Thekla Gunga, National MTV News.
The Madang Police Special Operations for the festive season has kicked off today with a police parade within and around the hotspot areas. The Madang Provincial Commander, Superintendent Jacob Singura, at the launching said the special operations will continue into the new year despite the delay in sourcing the support funds. Rachel Shise reports.
20,000 kina is needed to support the Madang Police Special Operations for this festive season, but the Madang Police coffers are still empty. Despite the signs of the economy's downturn, the Madang Provincial Police Commander, Superintendent Jacob Singura, has officially launched the operations today.
The festive period, Christmas, New Year, 2016-2017, Police Special Operations effective as from today until the 2nd of January 2017.
Superintendent Singura at the launching reminded his officers that maintaining law and order during that period includes the conduct of his policemen and women.
If you wear in uniform, you say think that we are above the rest of our countrymen and women. No, we are the same.
The PPC warned that the police force is an organization of discipline and his officers' conduct should be according to that code of discipline.
Planted behavior, misbehavior is at our own doing. It's not in line of duty.
The police commander reminded his officers that their own security is very important and they should celebrate responsibly with their families.
Christmas will come when we do our business, work in police work, when we want to enjoy, using common sense. All house cleaning and stuff is in you and myself. Respect and big plus something. You respect the community will respect you.
Rachel Shise, National MTV News, Madang.
The demand for high-speed internet and low call rates has gone on a climb as demand for telecom 4G light SIMs and handsets in the Highlands region spurts. Yesterday, the telecom lay sales team followed the demand trail all the way to the Yonki Dam community in the Eastern Highlands province. An afternoon crowd of 100 PNG Power staff members and their families swapped their telecom devices for the telecom 4G light difference. Lay Telecom sales manager George Irang says the phone and SIM swap promo was extended to a month now since demand had grown. Yanguru Sausia in the East Sepik province is aiming to be one of the country's top cocoa producing districts. On Wednesday, funds of over 30,000 kina were presented to a small-scale seedling nursery in the Numbo LLG to start work on a cocoa cloning project. The nursery, once completed, will supply farmers in the district with cocoa plants that will be immune to the cocoa pod borer disease.
Cocoa farming in the East Sepik province is slowly making a comeback after it was hit hard by the cocoa pod borer disease. For districts like Yanguru Sausia, they are making a small but significant contribution in reviving an industry that was once the backbone to the district's and province's economy. In the Numbo LLG, Kaspar Hawa, who has vast experience in the industry, is building this small seedling nursery, all in the name of reviving cocoa in the district.
The idea of the nursery is to build, to propagate CBB tolerant planting materials and supply to the farmers to enable them to replace these old colonial materials which are susceptible to cocoa pod borer attack. My aim was to concentrate on the Numbo LLG area by gradually reaching the other LLGs like Sauce and East Yangoro, which are going to be, because we are sharing the same land boundary.
Local MP and Trade, Commerce and Industry Minister Richard Maru says since the pod borer disease, the supply of cocoa has dropped. He says a chronic problem for not meeting the demand is the lack of proper planting materials and expert farming.
Our problem in the country is we're in very short supply of planting material. That's a chronic problem, and over the years, DAL and Cocoa Board has never been able to solve this problem. In terms of the big picture in ECPIC, we cannot continue to bring cocoa planting material from Eastern Britain. Our province, and in fact East and West Pacific province, needs to come up with their own planting material, in terms of a large-scale project to do that.
With the 30,000 kina, farmers like Caspar Hawa will now be able to build a nursery to combat the pod borer disease and also train other farmers. This project is the second funded by the district, and District CEO Fensten Yeninen says the district administration will continue to support the growth of cocoa.
We are looking for people who can be able to test out, pilot out projects that will work, and if we can identify potential and if we can identify people like that, we hope to create models on which we can roll out the district cocoa.
Stanley Over Jr., National EMTV News.
Now to a story about the transfer of skills and knowledge from one place to another. Elvis Bagum from Medang began making cane chairs a few years ago. Elvis learned the art from his uncles on Karkar Island and is now passing on the skill to his dad's people who live along the Leh Medang Highway. It's a skill that is creating an income for his family.
Elvis Bagum has a small business along the Usino stretch of the Medang Highway. He's a long way from his mother's island of Karkar, where he learned the art of cane making from his maternal uncles who were taught by early missionaries. He started learning the art when he was little. He has mastered the art so much so that he makes 2 of these a day with relative ease.
Misa wokim kanda sia street. Katim kanda, kukim lo fire behind. Putim mochem do san em drive finish now. Mistat. Katim ul frame go down. Nilim putim lo frame blem na mi walk. Wokim go finish salim now. Oda kam me give him go.
The cane comes from the jungle nearby. Cane chair making is part of a small industry in Medang that receives no government support, despite the rhetoric about small-scale business development. Elvis sells single chairs for 70 kina a piece. A double chair sells for up to 250 kina.
Salim putim lo rotol kampai. Mani kisim saya place ya mi keke.
Elvis has gone a step further. He's built a community knowledgeable in the art of cane chair making. An art from the island of Karkar, many kilometers away, has found its way into the hinterlands of the Medang province. Scott Wide, National EMTV News, Medang.
Kimbe town has been without electricity for 4 days straight, and West New Britain Governor Sasindra Mutuvel is calling for emergency response from PNG Power. The governor sent out an SOS email last night saying the town is burning up so much fuel on generators to keep businesses and government buildings running. We spoke with Governor Mutuvel today.
Unreliable power supply has been an issue in Kimbe town for years. Recent power problems began around a month ago with constant and lengthy blackouts.
Not like every day you've got 24 hours power. Hardly, they switch it on for 2 hours or 3 hours in a day. The rest of the day is all blackout only.
The situation has worsened this week.
And now it is 100% blackout. Like now, 4th day is ongoing without any power. we are just burning diesel only, running generators. That's the scenario now we are facing.
Running businesses and government services on generators is taking its toll both financially and health-wise. Fuel is not the only cost, as generators and other electrical appliances keep breaking down due to the power surges.
Kita time plus askim long line lo PNG power no get good la tok na no get notice lo give him lo mi plan na tok sabi usem na how by mi pla running good long business o time lo store open no mi pla waiting with him long good pla tok sabi but I'm no kama.
For Kimbe General Hospital, it is an even bigger problem as sensitive hospital equipment have been damaged. Chairman of the West New Britain Provincial Health Authority, Dr. Matthias Sapuri, says if lives are lost due to these power outages, PNG Power will be held accountable. The hospital is not the only government agency asking for urgent attention. With limited time to complete electoral roll update, the West New Britain election manager Emily Siamoli is worried they might not meet the deadline.
Power supply improve, or if PNG Power can give special attention to especially preparation for the election 2017.
PNG Power Acting CEO Alex Owa said in a statement this afternoon that power supply in Kimbe has been on load shedding this week due to shortage in generation capacity. He said power supply should improve in the next 24 hours. Sarah Aupong, National EMTV News.
On the same note, a frustrated West New Britain governor said it is high time the province gets the attention it deserves after years of generating revenue for the government purse.
New Britain must be one of the most important provinces to be looked after in terms of infrastructure, in terms of services to the province, because this is the province which is generating income or revenue for the national government, not other provinces which doesn't generate even 10% of what West New Britain generates, and they get all the attention just because some, key people are in the government or what and all those kind of things. And we are always been seen like, last one to receive some service.
And now looking at our finance news, the Kina closed unchanged at $0.3150 in the interbank markets. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying $0.3075, $0.4238 Australian dollars, $0.2922 euro, and 35.86 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold and copper closed higher, while coffee and cocoa closed the day lower. Palm oil and copper closed higher, while crude oil closed the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 23.08 points lower. The ASX is trading at 16.04 points lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading at 16.67 points lower. National EMTV News continues with more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Turning overseas, the president-elect could be rewriting all the half a century of foreign policy when it comes to nuclear capability. Donald Trump has suggested it was time to expand the U.S. nuclear arsenal, sparking fears of a Cold War or arms race.
Did Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump just have their first nuclear standoff? Today, Russia's president vowing more nuclear weapons are needed.
We need to strengthen the military potential of strategic nuclear forces, especially with missile complexes that can reliably penetrate any existing and prospective missile defense systems.
A clear shot at U.S. defense plans in Europe, something Russia believes is a threat. Within hours, President-elect Trump tweeted, quote, "The United States must greatly strengthen and expand its nuclear capability until such time as the world comes to its senses regarding nukes." The two declarations raising the specter of an arms race renewed. Donald Trump briefed just yesterday by senior Air Force officers on the need to modernize the aging nuclear infrastructure. During the second presidential debate, a hint of his thinking.
Russia is new in terms of nuclear. We are old, we're tired, we're exhausted in terms of nuclear. A very bad thing.
Nuclear weapons are limited by treaty. Today, Russia has 7,300 warheads, the U.S. just over 6,900. The Obama administration gave up on the idea of a U.S. pledge for no first use of nuclear weapons, worried the idea could embolden Russia and China. U.S. dismantling of its own nuclear arsenal has slowed in recent years. Putin's nuclear vow came as he boasted of Russian military superiority after a year which saw successful Russian hacking of the Democratic National Committee by the Russian military, sustained airstrikes in Syria, and continued occupation of Crimea.
Today, we are stronger than any potential aggressor. I repeat, any aggressor.
The Trump transition team later issued a statement saying the president-elect was really referring to nuclear proliferation, trying to make sure nuclear weapons are kept out of the hands of terrorists and rogue nations. But it is still not entirely clear whether Mr. Trump supports more nuclear weapons.
True Guy Sports is next. Stay with us.
True Guy Sports.
Welcome to True Guy Sports. The Samson Anam kickboxing tournament, which kicked off today at the Bomana Gym outside of Port Moresby, saw 100 youths from within NCD and Central battle it out in the ring. Organizer Nelson Sampson said the reason for hosting the event was to bring young people together to celebrate Christmas and keep them occupied during the festive season. Godwin Eki reports.
Youths and students from surrounding communities in NCD and as far as 17 Mile in the Central Province showcased their kickboxing skills in the ring as they battled in their respective categories. With weight divisions ranging from 30 to 80 kilograms, Tournament Director Nelson Sampson says many of the young kickboxers have been training for months, and despite not having national events, having a small gathering as such will put their skills to good use. While many of these young kickboxers are hoping to compete for their provinces at the PNG Games, experienced kickboxers such as Freddie Marai and Nelson Sampson are trying their hardest to make ends meet so that up-and-coming talents can have the privilege to compete and represent their province, if not the country, in the future.
We come out on this idea where you got 9 black club must be. Okay, the 9 black club I'm starting to must be noticed. Was na tami blogger senior fighters talo must be noticed. Tami blaga this lo club so mi blaga kisi mo the students mi blaga come lo welcome this la tournament lo kibi mo the boys lo blaga or students mi blaga come alive.
Due to an increase in the number of participants, the event saw 1 minute for each round, which lasted 3 minutes, with a minute break in between. They saw great punches and kicks from each fighter as they tried to score points. While allowing punches and knee kicks, each competitor showed great defense and skills as each fighter tried to fight each other in the running to win each round. PNG rep and professional kickboxer Freddie Marai says watching the young generation show interest in the code, he strongly believes that Kickboxing Federation should try to host national events and other competitions for kickboxers around the country.
To these young ones, I want to see how they perform, how they can cope with this martial arts kickboxing especially, to see how many clubs and what type of trainers and what type of coaches they are so that we can reunite together.
The 3-day event will end on Christmas Day with medal and trophy presentations. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
2016 has been a busy year for Papua New Guinea Olympics Committee with big events like the Rio Olympics. This is also the first year for PNG-OC's new strategic plan 2016 to 2020, while female leadership gained new heights in the committee as Emma YY became vice president and Alvita held the post of general secretary. And more notably, Rapila was made a member on the International Olympic Committee during the 129th International Olympics Committee session in Rio on August 4th following the Olympic Games.
Throughout this year, PNGOC was directed by its vision to inspire and unite Papua New Guineans through sporting excellence and success under its strategic plan 2016 to 2020. Paving way for athletes to make their appearance in the Rio Olympics in August was the key priority. With 8 athletes in the likes of Raymond Ovino, Ryan Pinney, Toya Whistle, Samantha and Max Kesman, Theo Piniao and others, PNG's Rio Olympics contingent left PNG shores for the world event. Though most bowed out in the first heat, Toya Whistle appeared in the preliminary rounds but fell short of finals qualifying time in the women's 100 meters by 16 seconds when she clocked in 11.48.
Hackett, she's pretty comfortable, Elaine Thompson, and
a remarkable turn of events when PNGOC General Secretary Ovita Rapila was made a member of the International Olympic Committee following the Games. Adding to that achievement was the recognition of individuals who were involved in sports, as 7 awards were given to Team PNG members during the SP Award earlier this year for their tireless efforts in 2015 sporting events, mostly being the Pacific Games. And to top off this year, PNGOC inducted 5 of PNG's sporting legends into PNG Sports Hall of Fame. That includes weightlifting siblings David and Jackson Sito, former sprinter Salitia Pipit, swimmer Nigel Klua and boxing legend Tumat Sogolik. This marks their entry into the Hall of Fame alongside Sir John Caputin and Edward Laboran. Dean Rose Raiko, National EMTV Sports.
NRL Premiership winning captain Paul Gallen returns to the boxing ring to take on Ryan Karketu. Both fighters head into the ring tonight undefeated. Paul Gallen has a record of 6 wins while Karketu has 2.
Gold Coast-based Kiwi Karketu, who has a professional boxing record of 2.0, has been vocal leading up to the fight.
Paul's obviously a bit of a gambling man. He obviously gambled with his NRL career for protecting the peptides.
The Sharks NRL skipper used the weigh-in to offer Karketu double or nothing on the price if he knocks Gallen out.
I'm not going to go you double or nothing, mate. If you knock me out and you beat me like you say you're going to beat me, I'll pay you first twice.
Karketu, 34, has won his 2 boxing fights but has no plans to fight for a career. At 190 centimeters, he is much taller than Gallen. Karketu caught Gallen's attention when he fired a shot at the Sharks skipper's hometown, Colin Cronulla, a bit of a bogan suburb. Elijah Levitt, National EMTV Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. Brazil's Chapecoense Soccer Club were presented with the Copa Sudamericana Winners' Trophy at a ceremony in Luque, Paraguay on Wednesday. Chapecoense's new president, Plinio David Dines Filho, received the Copa Sudamericana trophy at the draw for the 2017 Copa Libertadores.
The club was awarded the title after suffering the loss of almost all its players when the aircraft crashed on November the 28th while traveling to Medellin, Colombia. The players were due to play against Atlético Nacional in the finals of the Copa Suramericana. 71 passengers, including players, support staff and journalists, died in the crash. 3 players, a journalist and 2 crew members survived. After the crash, Atlético Nacional requested Chapecoense be declared the winner of the tournament, which also qualifies the club to take part in the 2017 Copa Libertadores tournament and play in the 2016 Copa Libertadores champion for the 2017 Recopa Suramericana title. Dines Filho made an emotional speech as he received the trophy.
Em nome de nossa cidade, eu gostaria de dividir o troféu que nós acabamos de receber com aquele que nos deu esta possibilidade pelo seu gesto de humanidade, de respeito, de dignidade e de demonstração ao amor ao ser humano. Aqueles que receberam.
A video tribute to the players killed in the crash was screened during the ceremony. Chapecoense featured in the draw, going through to the group stage as a right as Copa Sudamericana champions. Jeremy Moggy, National TV Sports.
A new and exciting trend of mixed martial arts is scaling new heights in the nation's capital after it was introduced in 2013. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a martial art and combat sport that teaches a smaller person how to defend himself against a larger adversary by using leverage and proper technique.
Papua New Guineans are always fascinated about martial arts, whether it is taken as a sport or part of personal fitness and self-defense. On the horizon is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is being introduced to Papua New Guinea by a small group of experts, and it is still yet to gain popularity. A small group of followers get into the normal sparring, rolling and grappling every Tuesday and Thursday evening between 6 to 7 p.m. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a martial art, combat sport and a self-defense system which focuses on grappling and especially ground fighting.
Over a strong and bigger person, yeah. Great for self-defense. Also a great way to pick up your fitness, great stress relief, and yeah. And also improves self-confidence.
The Gracie family, the founders of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, modified judo and traditional Japanese Jiu-Jitsu to create the art. It contains stand-up maneuvers, but it is most famous for its devastating ground fighting techniques. Gaining superior positioning so one can apply the styles of numerous chokes, holds, locks and joint manipulations on an opponent is the key in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Practitioners use the throws and locks to defend themselves in the street or to defeat an opponent in competition. Studying Jiu-Jitsu provides students with physical and mental benefits. Shane Saroya, National EMTV Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The weather details when we come back.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield. Worth doing with Dulux.
Your weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region: showers and rain in Port Moresby, Daru, Kerema, Alotau and Popondetta. In the Momase region, showers and rain in Lae, thundery showers in Medang, Wewak and Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands region, thundery showers in Lorengau, Kavieng, Kokopo, Rabaul, Kimbe and Buka. And in the Highlands region, showers and rain, then morning fog in Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabeg. Forecast for small ships for the next 24 hours. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border through Torres Strait and Daru, to Kiwai Island, to Kerema, to Yule Island, to Hood Point, to Samarai Island with waters of Samarai to Cape Vogel, to Finschhafen with waters of Finschhafen through Vitia Strait, CSE Island to Long Island, to Medang to Bogia, to Wewak with waters of Wewak to Aitape, to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, and with waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas of 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of eastern and western Milne Bay Islands and with waters of New Ireland to New Britain to Bougainville, seas of 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Ocean forecast for PNG areas. In the Coral Sea, seas light with clockwise winds at 10 to 15 knots. In the Solomon Seas, seas light with southeast to southwest winds at 10 to 15 knots. In the Bismarck Sea, seas slide to northeast to southeast winds at 10 to 15 knots, and in the Pacific Ocean, sea slide with east to northeast winds at 10 to 15 knots.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield, with doing with Dulux.
Before we go, a quick look at our top stories for tonight. Prime Minister O'Neill calls on citizens to set aside differences, Kimbe facing serious power outages, and a stern warning for public servants with political aspirations. And that's been the news, sports and weather for Friday the 23rd of December 2016 from the entire EMTV news team. Have a pleasant and safe weekend. Good night.